Hey, what's up everybody? Did you get iced in, snowed in as well this week? Didn't make it out for too much, but we're definitely going to talk steelhead update. We got the Washington Coastal Steelhead seasons announced by WDFW, and I attended the call this week, the virtual town hall, and oh my goodness, there's some disappointing, enraging news on the coastal steelhead front. A lot of questions, a lot of like, what is going on here? We got to talk about some of this stuff, and unfortunately we have more questions than answers, so we'll get through it, we'll work through it. Definitely gonna still give you some ideas though of alternate places to look for steelhead this winter season in the state of Washington and throughout. All right, in terms of highlights, I mean, I don't know, I got like some hot tub time in the snow here. I kind of struck out deer hunting, although I did almost have a shot opportunity on a nice buck up there in the mountains around Mount Rainier in the snow. Would have had to really, you know, I'm not that good of a shot to be able to zero in on something with the muzzleloader, iron sights, 120 yards away. I passed up that shot, but I was close. Part of the problem is it's really noisy in the woods right now. You know, you got all that snow and then it froze and it's just super crunchy. So not great for, you know, I'm hoping we get a little bit of warmer weather, a little bit of rain, wet snow, melt some of that stuff, just make it a little bit less noisy to walk around the woods right now. You know, in terms of what's new, we definitely got to talk winter steelhead. They did announce Marine Area 11 blackmouth shut down this week, so that's over. The catch rate kind of tailed off towards the end, but if you were able to get out, get a fish, that's awesome. Next opportunity besides shooting down Marine Area 13 is going to be Marine Area 10. I think mid-February is when that's slated to open, but it's going to be a little while. It's gonna, but if you're looking for some opportunity to be on the water, do some harvest recreation, we'll talk about that. So let's talk about the steelhead thing. So really disappointing. You know, you've got the Chehalis trib, the Chehalis system, where most of the hatchery steelhead in the state return to, and I mean, you just got really no season on there to speak of. It's really, I think, really frustrating, because I think, you know, the reason everyone's talking about it is like, well, we need to protect these rivers because the wild steelhead escapement's been way below escapement goals every year for the last several years. And but the problem with this is, like, you know, it's like we're talking about how much wild steelhead are we impacting fishing the Skookumchuck or the Wainuchi? You know, like, you talk to anglers, you have your own experiences down there, like, no one's encountering wild steelhead in these places, and so it's really, you know, the official line is that there's not enough data to say that it's safe to have a season, but it just feels like there's something else going on there. And you know, we got some questions. I put an article up in late September essentially predicting that this would happen. You can go check it out, pnwbestlife.com. You'll find it linked from all the steelhead stuff I've written about. It's called the Coastal Steelhead Preview for 2023. But yeah, it's really there's a lot of frustration in the angling community. No one wants to catch the last wild steelhead, but it's like, all right, are we talking legitimately about impacting wild steelhead, or is something else going on here? You know, there are some opportunities for and some good news here, and you know, starting with, you know, you got hump tulips and satsup and some mainstem Chehalis open December 1st, December 16th. You know, you're gonna be able to target those late returning hatchery coho, which there's been some decent numbers of them, decent fishing. You saw from a video I posted in the highlights last week, right? I mean, it's decent fishing for these critters right now, and you've got steelhead in these rivers too. You know, you've got some steelhead reporting on the escapement reports for the hump tulips. Like there's gonna be a chance, and in the regs you can keep 2 hatchery steelhead on these rivers, so there's an opportunity for sure. You know, folks around the Forks area were generally happier with more fishing opportunity from boats, more fishing opportunity in general up there. You know, that people seem to be pretty happy about that compared to what it was last year. You know, you have the wild steelhead fishery on the Solduck. The Solduck's probably got the healthiest wild steelhead fishery in the state, so people are going to get an opportunity to take advantage of that all the way through March 31st. So let's talk about next week's weather. So a lot of times when it comes to planning next week's recreation, it starts with that 10-day forecast, 7-day forecast. Like, what are we talking about for the weather? And I'm looking at warmer temps overall, maybe a little more rain, more wet snow, not really a lot of freezing in the Puget-Tropolis area. So it's gonna be more opportunity to put some miles on the old truck, the old rig there, and get around to some of these places where there's opportunity. Hopefully get another chance, get in the woods for big game hunting, and that will, hope, man, I can fill one of these tags. It's getting a little ridiculous at this point, but certainly you got to be thinking about the late coho opportunity on the Chehalis, the Satsop, the Hump Tulips, these Grays Harbor rivers. Like, you got to be thinking about these opportunities. Being pretty legit to score one of these. I mean, these coho are so chrome and cut so bright red. Like, that's a fantastic opportunity. And then you might be able to run into a couple hatchery steelhead while you're there. So why not? Why not give it a shot? When it comes to chum, Minter Creek is just absolutely gone bonkers. I mean, tens of thousands of chum returning through there. You definitely have to check that out. Actually, there's no steelhead yet that have returned on the bogey. I'm calling shenanigans. I think there's a hatchery manager holding on to some of this data. There's got to be fish, steelhead in the bogus shield right now. Like, that's, if you're thinking about hitting fork sometime, like, now is time. There are fish to be caught in the bogus shield. You may want to consider steelheading in the Southwest Washington area. I mean, you've got a few fish trickling in the Chehalis. You've got fish in the Lewis, Kalama, other spots. There's definitely steelhead making their way through Southwest Washington. These Columbia River tribs, right, that may be accessible to you and within your time range for a trip. If you got to get the boat out, definitely, seeing reports, WDFW put this in their weekend report that squidding is picking up, winter crabbing in the North Sound down to area 10, area 9. It's really doing well. Like, you could do a crab squid combo. Not as good in the South Sound, as I learned a week ago, but even then, the South Sound, if you were stayed more towards the north end of Vashon and things like that, like, more opportunity for sure. And all of this crazy crappy weather is ideal bird hunting conditions east of the Cascades, as long as you can make it over the pass. A lot of birds being shot. Great opportunity. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I'm going to go over to the Prosser area, my Airbnb over there that we're running, and staying there a little bit in mid-December, and hopefully figure out some stuff that I can share with you all there about the geese hunting and duck hunting in that area. All right, last, if you're looking for some PNW Best Life merch, check out the hoodie I'm rocking here. Got the logo on the hunter green hoodie. I've also got a tech tee, and I've got a darker color scheme design of getting printed on some black hoodies. I'll have pictures of that hopefully the next week, and then we're gonna do a 32-ounce water bottle and a coffee mug tumbler coming up here. So I'll hopefully have that to share. Drop me a comment or email me at Kyle@PNW if you want any of this merch. Take PayPal, Venmo, we'll figure it out. And yeah, have a great week.